Good afternoon, Doctora. We're from USD College of Science, and we're here to ask you some questions about your USD life. Okay, first, what was your degree program and why did you choose it?
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Phoebe Lindon. I'm a dermatologist. My degree program during college was BS Biology. I took this because even as a high school student, I already wanted to become a doctor. And during that time, I was privileged to be grouped into a medical science section during my high school years, and I had great interest in human anatomy and biology classes. So I chose BS Biology program as a pre-med course compared to the other pre-med courses.
How did being a Tomasian help you in being successful in life?
Well, number one would be the value formation. I believe that the Tomasian education not only gives you the academics but also forms you into being a good Catholic, good Christian, which I believe would be the foundation of one's personality as we struggle through life, through all the obstacles that we meet in achieving our goals or in our career. Secondly, being a Tomasian also helped me prepare for the bigger world, because even as a college student in med school, we are always tasked with a lot of presentations and reportings. And just to tell you, everywhere you go, if you had a Tomasian education, you will really you will stand out, because even my groupmates before, they went into different hospitals, but it's always the Tomasian graduates who are asked to report, to present in front of many people, because we were already trained during our college and medicine school years. So that's one advantage also. And of course, not to last but not the least, the quality of education is never compromised. So with all these hand in hand, the Tomasian education helped me become a doctor, a successful dermatologist, and I believe that still I will look back to these Tomasian principles as I go on through the rest of my career.
Did your class schedule interfere with your study habits?
During college, I had no problem with the schedule, but in med school, so for those of you, I know you're in BS Biology, so most, if not everybody, would really go into medical school. And some subjects would be 4 hours. So it's a bit, I was shocked at first, sitting down, hearing lecture for 2 hours straight, then maybe 15-30 minute break, and then we're divided into small groups for another hour or so. And the class would start at around 7 or 8, then it would end around 4 or 5. It was difficult for me at first to adjust to this kind of schedule, because I wasn't used to it, and the bulk or the volume of things that you read in med school is really a great amount. So after class, you need to read a lot, and there are times when you don't know how to really budget your time in reading all. Then of course you need to have a good amount of rest also, or else the next day 4-hour lecture again will make you really tired or sleepy. So it was difficult at first, but it was just a matter of adjustment. If the other senior students have made it, then of course you can also do it. It's just a matter of time management.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Here's Gian for another set of questions.
Good afternoon, Dr. Phoebe. For our next question, where did you study your pre-med degree program?
Yeah, I took my pre-med course at the University of the Philippines in Manila.
For the next one, why did you choose dermatology as your field of specialization?
Dermatology is not my first love. Sometimes it happens that way. You don't really end up with your first love? First love was pediatrics. I love kids. So I actually went into pediatric residency training also in the University of Santo Tomas Hospital for 1.5 years. It's just unfortunate that I had to leave due to health reasons. There were times when, especially after my duty hours, 48 hours straight duty, I had palpitations and all. Anyway, so that made me choose to go into my second love, which is the science of the skin or dermatology. I chose it because number one, it has a lesser amount of toxicity, as we call it in med school, because most cases are outpatient, can be managed as outpatient. But with the training that I had in UST Hospital, Department of Dermatology, I would say that dermatology is also as serious as the other fields, because there are also difficult to handle cases which may need hospitalization. And although these cases don't come every day, so that's why I chose dermatology. It's not as toxic as the other specialties, but it also has its own difficult cases.
Did you live in a dormitory, condominium, and the likes, or do you go home every after school? If you go,
okay. During med school, I lived in a dormitory near University of Santo Tomas, so along the plan. So I just walk going to and from UST. So I was there for 8 years. Med school, and med school internship, 2 years of residency of pediatrics. But during dermatology, I drove from my house in Alabang going to, so not really 8 years, maybe 6 years.
Also in USD Hospital.
USD Hospital. Yeah. So during my residency training, that's when I drove from my house going to USD Hospital.
And here's Peter Gabatan for the next set of questions.
Good afternoon. For the next question, did your studies interfere your relationship with God, family, and friends?
I would like to think that my studies did not interfere my relationship with our God, my family, and my friends. In fact, it made me closer to God. Why? Because if you have exams, you really need the guidance.
Yeah, and to pray.
Yes, you really need the guidance. So you kind of call on to Him more. My family, because when you're away from them physically, then that's the time that you really felt that they're important. So I tend to call them more often than when I go home. I just see them, but sometimes there's really not much interaction. With friends, also no, because I study with friends. Especially in medical school, you have group studies because it helps you study more, because you would want to stay up late with them. You don't really you're not tempted to sleep already. When you're alone, you're tempted to, hey, I'm sleeping, and you just go to sleep. So with friends, you study more, you exchange ideas. It made me closer to these people. So I don't think studies made me. I don't think my studies interfered with these relationships.
Next, did being proficiently good or excellent in English language help you being successful in life?
Yes, of course we need English, because the medium of instruction in our books, in journals, they're all written in English. Even if these researches or studies were made abroad, it's still written in English. When we research, it's all the English language. So it helped me understand these things more because of the proficiency in the English language. Also in international congresses or